Hi Muses! I wanted to do a quick one because I'm going to be going live inside my new group, Mindful Muses, in about half an hour. So definitely join in there. I will drop a link once I can find myself. And I should probably shut that window because Jelly is barking like crazy. Okay. Alright. What I will be going live about inside Mindful Muses is 5 things to boost your creativity in 2020. And really, to be honest, we still have a few more days left in 2019 and you can actually start these things now. And if you start these things now, you will be able to head into 2020 already getting your momentum going. And if anything I've learned doing creativity, life, motherhood, it's always a lot easier to kind of tweak and move a rolling ball than it is to get something started. It's like trying to get a toddler to go where you want them to go, but they've sat themselves down on the ground versus when they're already kind of walking in one direction, you're just like tweaking them a little. So yes, why am I talking about that? Not sure. All right, let me find the link to let you know. If you don't know already, I have been thinking about and being called to create a free group to contain a space, a safe space for the creatives that I meet and I know are out there who don't even feel confident yet. You feel like new in your creativity and you don't even know if you can put that title on yourself, even though I see you as a creative. But you look at me and you're like, I'm a professional artist and I paint and, you know, I wear lots of color and I'm not afraid of it. Although I'm in my bedroom right now and it's messy. And that whole messiness and being able to still connect your creativity in that way. And I meet these people and I'm like, no, you are creative. And if you only allow yourself to do that, to see yourself in that way, to connect to it, to be conscious of it and mindful of it, which is why the group's called Mindful Muses, and then you would have a lot more of it. You would have a lot more creativity in your life if you could be mindful and aware and acknowledge the creativity that you're already connected with. And so why is creativity something that you need to connect with? I hope that if you're in my space, you already kind of know, like it's already part of your life or you already love it, you're inspired by it. But you may not feel like, especially if you're a newbie creative, and I mean newbie as in you've never really thought of yourself as a creative, but you're probably doing a lot of creative things, and but you would like more creativity in your life. You would like what you think romantically that I must have when I sit in my studio painting all day, in my beautiful clean studio without any interruptions and the flow of inspiration is just coming through. But actually that's not the case. I have had to learn to connect to my creativity despite the interruptions, despite the mess, despite the distractions of doubts and family and duties and chores and fears and my own sabotages because of whatever limiting beliefs that I have. And all these things, this practice of being able to come back to my creativity and to connect back to inspiration so that I can create beautiful art that I can't believe I created and reach that point. That practice, that ability to do that ability to shut down the distractions and the noise and especially the fears and the sabotages and the resistance, those skills is a practice. It's a habit that you can develop. It's a muscle that you can build, and that is why you need to have creativity in your life. You connect to it in a way that allows you to build confidence in yourself and build awareness and consciousness and mindfulness, but also an ability to focus on what it is that you want to focus on. Does that make sense? Emoji me below if this makes sense. If you're watching the replay, as always with all my videos, when you're on with me live, make sure you always comment below #YayLive. That way I know that you're actually watching. You didn't accidentally stumble across this video. And if you're watching a replay, totally cool. I'm the same. I can't sometimes sit down and watch a live video, but I will watch the replay. definitely comment below #yay replay so that I know you've watched and you're there, and it helps these videos get seen by more people. And then anytime you hear something from me that really resonates, that really gives you a light bulb moment or an insight that you never had before, I would love for you to comment it below, because I always love to see what people resonate with. It's the same with why I ask people to tell me what they see in my abstract paintings. I love to see what they see, because I would have never seen it that way, because obviously I'm not them. And so I love to know what insights you've got. And again, these comments definitely help boost it, and when your notes about what resonated with you and your perspective, it helps all the other creatives and muses who come across this video as well. Yes, what was I doing? I'm looking down because I'm going to put the link inside this live stream. Oh, that would have been weird. All right, join me. I'm being aware of time. So make sure you answer all the questions if you want to get into the group, so I can approve you really, really quickly. Because sometimes there's like bots and spam people, and I want to keep the space a safe space for us creatives, newbies, muses, to be able to find a community of other creatives who are mindful and conscious and intentional, who want to weave their spirituality and their life and their business and their babies and their hobbies and their self-care and their just the rich tapestry that life is in all its many, many layers. And having a community like that who understands that creativity can be the anchor of it all. It can be the seed that helps you bloom the next chapter that you are being called to create. I have been really excited about creating it. I just thought it was just too many things, and then I was getting worried, and I got too stuck in my head, and that fearfulness and the, you know, procrastination, and then having to talk myself out of it, and then at the same time trying to, you know, get distracted by things like, oh, what should I call it? And I don't know if I'm the right person for it. Who am I? All these things. Again, I face them in my creativity, in my creative work, and I have tools that I have to go through and remember to use in order to face them. And isn't this the same with every other area of your life where you grow and expand and learn and become more? Whether it's your motherhood, your parenthood, whether it is in your job, whether it's in a relationship that expands and changes to go from just an acquaintance to someone who's a really good friend, right? Or when you're just learning a new skill, you're learning a whole new language because you're moving to another country. All these things comes up with what I call resistance, where, well, no, I don't call it resistance. It's resistance with a capital R by Stephen Pressfield, who wrote the book, The Wall of Art. If you know me, if you ever ask me for any advice about creativity, I will always send you to read that book first, because once you read that book, and it will give you the drive that you need to keep going, and then we can really have a conversation because you understand what I mean when I talk about resistance with the capital R. His energy of resistance comes up anytime you want to up level and change and become better and become more. And this idea of resistance comes up in every other area of your life besides creativity and creative work. And so anytime you're growing, right, like you have another kid and you're learning a new language, like I said, you want to go on a diet, you will hit this energy called resistance. And it's the self-doubt, it's the who am I to do these things, what if I'm not capable, what if I fail, what if I disappoint people, what about the shame of it because I fail, you know, what happens if it's not as good as I thought I am. Hey Kat, oh, thanks for popping in and saying hi. Always, it's always, and kiss that bubble of yours for me. Thanks. Anyway, so it's resistance, all the inner critic talk, who are you? And it's basically fears that you're not going to be good enough, or that even if you do successfully do it and show up and create the thing, learn the thing, become better at the thing, but then at the end of it, someone's going to find you out, and that it turns out that you do suck, and that everything that you make is shit, and that the next painting you're going to make is really crap. And obviously I'm talking about myself now. And the skill, it's actually a skill, it's a practice, it's a habit to be able to come back to, hey, oh, it's this resistance talking. And instead of battling resistance all the time, which is the way the Wall of Art talks about it, where you understand it, it's the enemy and you fight it. And I totally understand that point of view. And sometimes that's what needs to be, because that's an inner part of you. And I see resistance as a part of me. It's the me that wants to keep me safe. It's the me that wants to be comfortable. It's the me that wants to stay in my comfort zone. And so I call it embracing resistance and understanding that is part of the process, and that when these thoughts come up, no matter how much they suck, which they do, and it can paralyze you and overwhelm you and make you really doubt everything, but embracing it, and you can recognize that it is part of the process, and it's actually a sign that you should keep going, which is totally counterintuitive, but that's what creativity can do for you. When you're starting a whole new creative hobby, let's say you want to start knitting or baking or writing music or playing music or learning a new instrument, you face these things. Who am I? It's too hard. It's uncomfortable. I'm not good enough. What's the point? But when you keep practicing showing up just for the sheer joy of creating and enjoying the process of it, you do improve, you do create art, you do connect to your creativity, and that confidence and that practice and that being able to recognize those inner fears and thoughts, you will then see it ripple out in all the other areas of your life. This is why you need to have creativity into your life. This is why I want to share 5 things that you can boost your creativity in 2020. Really simple ways, really big concepts. Obviously, I go into a lot more detail inside my Muse Mojo Village, which is my membership site where you can have access to all my creative resources. Anyway, I'll talk more about that inside the group. I wanted to come up here so that you can understand why, even if you already kind of know why and you know you want to, but sometimes having somebody else articulate, especially someone, because for some reason, because I make paintings and I sell them, I'm a professional artist, although I call it traditionally creative. You are creative in your own way, and you probably feel this call and need to be more creative and to infuse more of it in your life, to feel inspired, to feel connected to the divine. Really, that's what creativity is. It's to feel this sense of self-expression, but also this connection to your spirituality and being able to be a part of a vessel, to collaborate in creating something, a little masterpiece that when you look at it, you're just amazed that you're a part of. And that's how I feel with every one of my paintings. And creativity can allow that, even if it's just like cooking my children dinner. I see that as part of my creative practice in ways where I'm doing something that I'm not very good at all, and I have to really use my creative muscles and really try something, and it really helps me tap into flow and creative flow. And I will talk more about this in the 5 things training coming up in it's 11:11 in about 20 minutes, less than. So definitely find the link. I've already put it in there. I will pin it to this thing. If you're watching the replay of this, it's not too late. That video will be up still inside the group. It's a free group. Definitely join if you've been looking for a community to kind of have a safe space to connect with other creatives. If you love my energy and you've been following on my page for a while, obviously if you're watching this, you're definitely a fan, and you want to learn more from me, I will be showing up a lot more inside that group to share my experiences, trainings, quick trainings like this. It gives you a taste of me and what working with me is like, or just to hang out, because it's not going to be just me. I want to build this space for other muses and creatives to really connect and find each other, and to know that you're not alone in your ambitions and your desires, to really create creativity as a lifestyle, as part of your identity, as a way of being and the way you show up in the world, whether or it is planting a rose garden, as I always say, or it's creating a movement to end poverty. Whatever your creative calling is, I think connecting with and finding your community of muses is very important. If I did not find my community, if I did not intentionally go out to find people who are like-minded, who are where I want to be, who think the way I wish I could think all the time, I would always go back to within my little comfort zone and living under my coconut shell, as my mum says. And I wouldn't expand, I wouldn't try, I wouldn't be practicing and developing the skills and the habits to show up for my creativity, to connect to my creative inspiration with the muse, and to be able to create work that is amazing and that I get to share with the world, and to feel like I am in my full empowered expression, living that creative life and being the kind of creative mama I want to be for my girls. So I'm going to go off now. This was supposed to be a quick one. Definitely let me know what resonated with you. Why do you want to connect to your creativity more, especially in this upcoming new decade? And message me any questions about Muse Mojo or about Mindful Muses, and I will see you inside the free group. I'm going to go off now, check my notes, make sure it's all that, drink my coffee. It's getting cold. Isn't that always the case? Anyway, and definitely all the love heart showers if you're like, yes, for yourself, about being more creative, adding more creative hobbies and interests and passions, and really connecting to your passions and what you're being called for, and to be able to actually show up and do it. Because I believe that as muses, you are not just dreamers, you're also doers. As muses, you're not just inspired by the beauty and rich layered tapestry of life and creativity and the beauty that is out there, but you also want to use all of that inspiration, take all of that and actually create something that you're being called to create, whatever your creative work is, that will then inspire the world. As a muse, you are inspired and inspiring, and that is what I want to create this Mindful Muses space for, especially for newbie muses who are not quite ready to join me inside Muse Mojo, the village, where you have access to all my creative resources, as well as one-on-one time with me and, you know, membership perks and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I will talk more about that inside the free group. Come join us inside Mindful Muses, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.